Hi, welcome to part one of how to excel as a college student. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to have the best college experience. My name is Emily McIsaac, and I'm the Student Engagement and Instructional Librarian, and I'm a resource for you. So if you want to get in touch with me about anything, please feel free to contact me at ermcisaac@hollandcollege.com. So let's think about college for a minute. Do you have the tools to succeed? I want you to write down some skills that you have, as well as some ones that you might need to succeed at college. And then, if there are any outstanding questions that you have that go unanswered from this presentation, then it's a really good idea for you to reach out to myself or somebody else at Holland College to get those questions answered. The goal of this session is to go through 4 topics, but today we're going to focus on advocating for yourself and knowing about the services at Holland College, and seek new community and mentors. We want you to build a new community and have a great college experience, and also get some trusted advice where you can apply it in your new field of study. And then part two, we'll talk about the next 2 sections. So let's get started. Advocate for yourself. Ask questions and seek out services. So what do I mean when I say that? There are many services available to you at Holland College, and we try to let you know about them at orientation, but we know that first 2 weeks of September are very overwhelming. I want to remind you of some of these things now, and so when you are struggling, you'll know where to go. And I also want to stress that there are no stupid questions. If there is a question that you wrote down at the beginning of this video, try to get it answered by emailing somebody that I mentioned in this slideshow, because asking questions is the best way to get results, and the worst thing that can happen is for them to say no, or maybe direct you to another person who can hopefully help you. I never want anybody to struggle on their own. There are so many ways to get help, between going to student services, coming to myself at the library, or even watching some YouTube videos that are available on SAM or through the Holland College Library YouTube page. There's lots of different ways to get help. I just never want to see a student struggle on their own, because by reaching out, you'll find a solution and get your problem solved. Now I'm going to talk about some of the free Holland College services. We'll start with Student Union. They help with your dental and health plans. So if you're not already on insurance, Holland College offers insurance to students, which is amazing, and Student Union will help you set that up. Always remember that you do need to opt out of the Holland College insurance if you are already on an insurance plan. That's what Student Union can help you with, as well as they host lots of events throughout the year. They'll do trivia, they'll do events, they'll really make your experience really fun. So keep your ear to the ground about events that they're hosting and attend, because that's how you make a new community and find new friends. We'll talk about student support services next, because they are amazing over there, as is every department I've listed here. But they help with test accommodations, stress management, test taking tips and tricks, any sort of stress management, counseling. Make an appointment with them and they will help you de-stress and get through college smoothly. And then of course the next one is library services, so that's myself, as well as other librarians and library techs at every campus. And we can help you with your research or assignments. We can guide you through the paper writing process. You can definitely make an appointment with me and we can talk about how to research effectively. It can be tricky if you don't know what to do, but I can make that much easier for you and find resources that are perfect for your paper. So don't worry about that. I'm a resource for you and I can help you. The retention office, these folks are your friends. If you're really struggling in your program and you're not quite sure if you should continue, they will have a meeting with you and talk to you about other options at the college. Just because you're struggling doesn't mean you have to quit. They may redirect you to another department that might be a better fit for you and give you some other great advice to continue to succeed at college. The Writing Center is another free service for you. It's a peer-to-peer learning environment where you make an appointment online with a peer tutor. The two of you go through your writing together, and the tutor will provide suggestions and other ways to improve your writing. It should bolster your mark because you're learning new techniques of writing, which is very helpful. The internship coordinator is somebody to keep in mind for your second year primarily. They might be able to give you some contact information if you're trying to work in your field between your first and second year. So that's something to keep in mind because the more experience you have before you enter the job market, the better. Hall Pass discounts. Your Hall Pass will give you discounts at a variety of different places like Sobeys. 10% off your groceries is pretty amazing. Bursaries and awards. Every year, Holland College gives out thousands of dollars to students. You can apply for as many as you think you're qualified for, and you might get some money from the college. Every application is due November 1st. Try to apply for some free money. And the last two things I'm going to talk about are really important for your health and mental health. We have a free nurse practitioner available to you as students. So if you can't get to the doctor's office, you can come to campus and there's a nurse practitioner that will help you. We have a gym available to students that you pay for with your tuition, so you might as well use it if you're paying for it. And then we have health services that are covered with your insurance, such as physio. If you're ever feeling a little bit sore or sick, you can go to physio. If you want to get into shape, you can head to the gym or clear your mind. Working out is good for you. And then, of course, the last thing I'm going to talk about, but maybe the most important, mental health is a huge thing students struggle with. There are more services available to you through the counseling and Asperia. Asperia is an app that you can download on your phone where you can directly chat with a counselor. And then there are counselors on campus, or they travel between the campuses to set up appointments with students. And there are some off-campus services you should be aware of, such as Facebook groups. Orientation will have one, your department may have one. You'll find out about events if you sign up for groups, so keep that in mind. Facebook Marketplace is a great way to find used kitchen items, furniture, apartments, anything you really want. They have books, sporting goods, anything that you might need. Kijiji is another online marketplace where you can find apartments and used goods, so be aware of those two things. There are food banks around Charlottetown, so if you're ever struggling for food, there are services there for you. And Student Services also has a food bank in the Charlottetown Center. And there is the T3 bus, which connects you to Stratford, Charlottetown, and Cornwall. That is a great way to get around if you don't have a car. Take advantage of the ticketing system by buying your bus tickets at the bookstore rather than scrambling to get them when you need to catch the bus. That's a great tip. Another tip is to be aware of phone and text scams. There have been students who have sent money to people who claimed that the student owed them money. Never send money to an unknown person. Always check with your bank or even check with an instructor to see if this email or text or phone call sounded sketchy, because you should always double check before you send money anywhere. That's just a tip I wanted to share. Definitely take a picture of this slide and follow these accounts, because Holland College has many different accounts for many different departments. That includes our department, so at Holland College Libraries, Holland Hurricanes, the Culinary Institute of Canada, the Holland College Student Union, the Hall Pass, as well as the general Holland College social media account. And this is on Facebook or Instagram. And then speaking of Holland College, I did want to send out a gentle reminder to check your Holland College email. That's how you find out if you won any prizes. The library does many events. If you partake in our events, then we send an email to your Holland College account. That's how you pick up your prize. So make sure you're using that account, but also that's how instructors get a hold of you. So if you're not checking your email, you might be missing some important information. So to switch over to some fun accounts, I really recommend following Discover Charlottetown. They are always putting on really fun events around Charlottetown. You can really have an amazing experience on PEI if you're getting out and about and enjoying the often free events that they host. As well as Activator Island, they do fun events around town. There's often been free yoga held in the park when it's nice outside, snowga, so yoga in the snow, and lots of different things to be aware of. So make sure you follow some PEI accounts to have a great time. And I've included some activities and restaurants for you. There's many different restaurants around Charlottetown that you could follow to keep up to date with what they're doing and their menus, and that's a great way to have a fun experience in Charlottetown as well. If you go to this tiny URL and add your favorite activity, restaurant, or bar, then it will be sent out to everybody. Then there'll be a big list available to you as students, and you can check out some of the cool spots we have around town. We're moving on to seeking out a new community, and gaining a mentor. These two things are really important because whenever you are going to college, it's important to branch out and make new friends. And if you make friends with people in your department, you can go through a shared experience. You can relate to each other on a whole new level. So think about that a little bit, as well as if you go to orientation events, it's a great way to find a new tribe. And a mentor is really great to have because they give really good advice and they want to listen and they care about you and they want you to succeed. And it could be anybody. It could be a second year student, it could be an instructor, a librarian, a coach, anybody, as long as they can give you some good advice and they, will help you. Mentors listen, care, and engage. They share their wisdom. They help us make sense of life so that we can do and be our very best. That's why we need a mentor. Anytime you get a mentor, you are making connections and you're building your community, and that's really important. If you have an instructor you like to talk to, maybe they can provide you some insight into your field and give you some contact information of those who you could work for. So keep that in mind. Please take action on advice given. If a mentor is giving you really good advice and you're not taking it, and then you go back and complain about the same problem, that is really exhausting for your mentor because they have given the sound advice that they can give. And so if you're not taking action on what they've told you, it's a little bit frustrating for them. Do your best to take action on the advice that was given and reach out to those contacts or change up the way you study or whatever they suggest. Try to take action on it as best you can. If it doesn't work, that's okay. At least you tried. That's a really important tip. Thank you so much. We're going to switch over to part 2. So I know that might have ended abruptly, but that's the first part of the presentation, and I'll see you at part 2. Bye.